Hello and welcome to Live Health 247. When passing the age of 60, many of us begin to notice a clear truth. The body is no longer as strong as it once was. Perhaps you have felt the same, waking up in the morning with weaker legs, finding it harder to rise from a familiar chair, or being startled awake at night by sudden cramps. Have you ever experienced that? I have met many patients in my clinic in the United States who told me the exact same thing. A woman named Mary, 67 years old, once told me, "Doctor, I feel like my legs have betrayed me. I want to walk on the beach like before, but just a few steps make me tired." Hearing that, I realized the problem was not just age, but also what our bodies are lacking. You see, the body is like a garden. When young, the soil is fertile, plants thrive. But as we age, if we don't nurture it with proper nutrition, the garden becomes barren, leaves wither, and the stems grow weak. Our muscles are the same. They need special nutrients each night to recover, to keep our legs strong and our hearts resilient. I want you to imagine this. Each night as you sleep, your body enters a construction site. Tiny muscle tears from the day are repaired. Energy is renewed. But if materials are missing, meaning vitamins and minerals, the project cannot be completed. That is why many people over 60 feel their bodies becoming slower and weaker. In more than 30 years as a doctor, I have witnessed miraculous changes in patients who supplement properly. A man in his 70s once lost his balance on stairs, but after a few months of dietary changes and adding vitamin D3 and B12, his body grew stronger, his sleep deeper, his steps steadier. Science has also proven this. It is not superstition, but biological truth. And I want you to pause and ask yourself, am I letting my body silently lack the nutrients it needs? Am I allowing cramps, fatigue, and weakening legs to steal the joy of life? I believe the answer lies in your hands. I believe the answer lies in your hands. Because muscle strength does not entirely depend on age. It depends on how we nourish and care for our bodies each day. My dear friend, now I want to go deeper with you into the things that can truly make a difference. Don't worry, I won't speak in overly academic language, but simply as someone who has lived more than 60 years, practiced medicine for 30, and has countless stories from patients just like you, just like me. I remember once an old man named Richard, 72 years old, came to see me because he often suffered cramps in the middle of the night. He said, "I'm not afraid of the pain, doctor. I'm afraid it takes away my sleep." After examining him, I discovered he was deficient in magnesium. You know, magnesium is like the conductor of the entire nerve muscle orchestra. Without enough, the nerves send chaotic signals, causing sudden muscle contractions. With just a little magnesium glycinate, his sleep returned to peace. I often tell patients, a good night's sleep is the greatest gift you can give your body. Then there are those who complain that even with a nutritious diet, they still feel weak. That's when I explain about vitamin B6. Imagine this. The protein in the chicken or avocado you eat is like bricks. But without vitamin B6, specifically in its P5P form, your body has no mason to build muscle. Many studies show that older adults deficient in B6 often have weaker grip strength and faster muscle loss. A woman in her mid-60s after supplementing B6 not only regained strength, but also felt clearer in mind and less inflamed and fatigued. But that's not all. Vitamin D3 and K2 are also a magical pair. I often compare them to an architect and an engineer. Vitamin D3 brings calcium into the body, while K2 ensures the calcium goes to the right places, into the bones and muscles, not sticking to the blood. Once I told a patient about how the Japanese eat natto, a fermented soybean rich in K2, and have much lower hip fracture rates than many European countries. The patient laughed and said, "I can't eat natto, but I can try Gouda cheese." That's exactly the kind of small adjustment that makes a big difference. Don't forget vitamin C, an old friend but one whose role in muscles is less known. It not only helps prevent colds, but is also a key ingredient in producing collagen, the elastic fibers that keep muscles firm. Without vitamin C, muscles are like an aging rubber band, easy to tear and slow to recover. I always advise patients, eat a kiwi or a few slices of red bell pepper each day, because sometimes the difference comes from simple things. And then there's vitamin E, the silent warrior against free radicals. Imagine your muscles as a house, with free radicals as vandals lurking at night. Vitamin E is the protective paint that keeps the house from damage. Patients who maintain enough vitamin E often recover faster after exercise or minor injuries. A handful of almonds before bed is sometimes the secret. We can't forget vitamin B12, the fuel that helps the brain and muscles connect smoothly. After 60, the body absorbs B12 less efficiently, making many people feel sluggish or even lose balance. I have seen many patients significantly improve their walking ability and memory after taking methylcobalamin B12. And finally, I want to talk about two things that seem simple but are foundational: sleep and gentle movement. Have you noticed that the body recovers best during deep sleep? But many older people don't sleep well, often tossing and turning. By establishing a regular bedtime, cutting back on afternoon coffee, and getting enough nutrients, sleep becomes a natural laboratory where muscles are repaired each night. And what about movement? I always say, you don't need to run a marathon, just walk 15 minutes around the block, do a few yoga poses, or practice Tai Chi. One of my patients, Bill, 75 years old, once thought he was too old to exercise. Then he tried Tai Chi. 3 months later, he told me, "Doctor, not only do I feel physically stronger, but my spirit is joyful again." You see, none of this is some distant secret, but rather the small bricks we can lay each day to rebuild the house called health. Your muscles are not betraying you. They are simply waiting for you to give them what they need to continue the journey with you. And I believe that no matter your age, 60, 70, even 80, you can still keep strong legs, a resilient heart, and enjoy every moment with your loved ones. My dear friend, as I sit here talking with you, I want you to remember something important. Age does not define your strength. Every morning when you wake up and place your feet on the floor, that is proof your body is still capable of walking with you, as long as you care for it properly. In my profession, I have seen people who seem to have given up, yet with just a few small changes, they rediscovered the joy of living. A breakfast with an extra slice of salmon, an afternoon walk under the sun, a deeper sleep thanks to a bit of magnesium. All of these are small seeds, but with persistence, they blossom into an entire garden of health. And I want you to ask yourself, what seed can I plant for my body tomorrow? It could be supplementing a missing vitamin, calling a friend to go for a walk, or simply going to bed a little earlier. These simple things will bring you a healthier body and a more peaceful soul. Think of health as your lifelong companion. Love it, care for it, and it will return to you freedom, strength, and the joy of living each day. All of the vitamins and minerals mentioned above play an important role, especially after the age of 60. However, the dosage and method of use should be personalized based on health conditions, lifestyle, and diet. You should not take excessive amounts or combine too many without professional guidance. Listen to your body, have regular health checkups, and consult your doctor or a nutrition specialist to create a proper supplementation plan. Thank you for being here and taking the time to listen. Live Health 247 is here to share knowledge and tips for healthy living every day. Don't forget to subscribe, hit like, and share with your loved ones. See you in the next video.